Hi guys, welcome back. This is the Nurse's Thread. Today on the channel, I'll be showing you how to make an Aso-Oke straight skirt. If this is something you're interested in, keep watching and let's dive right into this tutorial. Now, I have my Aso-Oke. It is already pre-joined. Now, I'm going to explain to you how to join yours if you don't have yours joined together. So you want to join using the length of your desired skirt, your skirt length, your desired skirt length, and then while joining for the width, you're going to join using your round hip divided by 2 plus an extra 5 inches. Considering the fact that we're going to be placing our fabric on fold, you need to take note of that, okay? So ensure to join by your desired length and then your round hip divided by 2 plus 5 inches extra for both the front and the back, since it's to cover for everything needed. Now I'm going ahead to fold my fabric into 2. I'm folding on my wrong face, so you can see me measuring to ensure that I have it wide enough. Now, while working with an Aso-Oke fabric, you need to be very careful, considering the fact that this fabric frays a lot. Okay, so you need to be very careful, and you need to also add allowances, extra allowances, which you can go on later to trim off. So now I've started off by folding my fabric and I'm marking my starting line. So I didn't marked a starting line, and then I came off from my starting line by half of an inch. Now the half of an inch I'm marking will be my joining allowance to the band. I'm just marking half inch. That's the top part will just be me joining to my band. I'm not going to cut out anything from this. Now, placing 2 inches outward, which will be for my band, I'm going ahead to place my hip point and then my desired skirt length. So this is a 3/4 skirt. You can make your short, you can make it to get to the ankle, depending on the availability of fabric you have, the fabric you have available for this project. So I'm going ahead to just mark my full length. I've marked, so what you basically need for your vertical measurements are the waist point, the hip point, and also the length of your skirt, which I've gone ahead to mark, and I'm making my horizontal lines at those points. So now that we have this, the next thing is to insert our horizontal measurement. So starting off, what I'm going to place is the round waist measurement divided by 4. So we're placing our measurement divided by 4. That's quarter of the measurement. Now for the skirt, I want to add a dart to the back, but not to the front. But I'm going to be adding that dart measurement to the front firstly. I'll go ahead to remove it later. So what I added was 1 inch for my dart intake, and I'm going to add 2 inches. I'm adding 2.5 inches. Now, the reason I added 2.5 inches, I'm going to weave this first before sewing. I went on later to still trim it off because it was quite bulky inside of this. Then around the hip area, go ahead and place quarter of your round hip measurement, and then that 2.5 inches, which we added as extra. So what we needed for this was just 2 inches for the seam allowance. But because this fabric frays, I added half of an inch, making that 2.5. So if you don't want it to be bulky, I went on later to remove mine. I would advise you to not waste your fabric. Just add 1.5 inches extra to yours, or 2 inches to yours. Now, around the knee measurement, what I'm doing is to place my round waist, quarter of my round waist measurement plus 1 inch, because it's usually free around the down part of our skirt. So take quarter of your round waist. So for me, quarter of my round waist is 8 inches plus 1 is 9. I placed 9 inches there, and then I added same seam allowance I have around the hip and around the waist and made my connections. Now I'm just going to use my pins to hold this down and go ahead to cut out my piece, the parts which I just marked. So you notice that I just cut the down part and I'm just cutting the side. So this is for our front skirt pattern. I'm not going to cut the top. I'm just going to leave it like so. Now for the back, we're going to repeat the same process, but we're going to have a wider fold at the back, sorry. That was why I said while joining for your width with your round hip divided by 2 plus 5 inches extra, because that's going to serve for both the front and the back, okay, considering that the back has a zipper. So around the back area, I'm going ahead to mark 2 inches for my zipper allowance. The same reason as me adding extra inches to the front. This is so that by the time I weave, I cut it open and then overlock, serge the edges, it's not going to, my fabric is going to lose. Even after doing that, I still went ahead to trim it up because it was quite bulky inside, like I mentioned earlier. Now I'm placing the front piece after the line which I just marked. Okay, so the difference between the front and the back is usually the zip allowance for a straight skirt. So the difference between that is the front and the back. But in this case, the difference between the front and the back, we're going to have a back dart, and then we're not going to have a front dart. We're going to eliminate the front dart. Okay, so you're going to watch how I do that. Now I'm just cutting off the ends. So ensure that while placing this, you notice that my fabric is striped, it has lines. So ensure that while you're placing this, that they are matching. The lines at the front and that of the back are matching. You can notice how I placed mine, ensure that they are matching. So by the time you finish sewing them together, they are going to align perfectly. So ensure that your fabric lines are matching. But if you're using a plain Aso-Oke fabric, you don't need to consider that this factor of your lines matching. So this is what I have after cutting it out for the back piece. Now around the back, we're going to further work on our zip allowance. Okay, so you're going to work on the zip allowance. Now before that, remember I said I don't want any dart in front, just at the back, but I still have that dart allowance positioned at my back, at my front piece. So what I'm going to do is to eliminate the front dart from my piece. Okay, so now I'm just replicating the same line I have, that's the hip line. I'm marking it on the back piece, and then around the waist of my bag I came in by ½ inch from that zip allowance line. So this is to further contour the waist region and to help my zip sit properly at the back, for my zip to be balanced. So I just went ahead to just contour that region. Now from there I can comfortably mark my zipper allowance. So I'm going to use a zip allowance of 1.5 inches. That is what I actually need for my zip. So I'm going to mark 1 inch from 1.5 inches, sorry, from the beginning to the ending of what I have here. Now the next thing we're going to do is to mark the length of the opening we want for the slit. So from the hip area, I came down by 10 inches and I'm going to make a mark there. So at that 10 inches point, which I just marked, I'll still mark my zip allowance intake, which is 1.5 inches. I'm going to mark that down and then I will connect it. So the difference I have for my zip at the back, I have the hip area, I have the hip area 2 inches, while the knee area 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to take this straight. Now this is how I'm going to cut this. So you're going to cut open this part. This is going to be the overlap area, right? And then you cut into this part like so, and then cut towards the top just like this. So this is what we're doing for the back part. That's for the zipper allowance area. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just marking the wrong face of my fabric so that I'm not confused. And I'm bringing in the front piece now. So now we're going to just make sure that everything is aligning, make sure they're aligning perfectly, and then we're going to eliminate that the dart we added to the front. So I've placed my piece properly right now. I'm going to bring this here. I'll just mark 1 inch from this point inwards, mark 1 inch inwards, and then connect it to the hip point. So by doing this, you're going to eliminate the dart we're supposed to take in front. But if you want to place a dart to your front piece, you can do that. But I actually don't like placing darts in front of my skirts. Okay, so I'm just going to take that off. So that sorts it out. If you place your piece together, you notice that the sides of the front and back is different around the waist area. So I've gone ahead to weave it. You can see that I've overlocked the edges. I actually went ahead later to, take off this because it was quite thick inside. And I've gone ahead to also cut out the lining. I made my lining to be 2 inches shorter than my actual fabric. So now we're going to start stitching our piece together. We're going to start with one of these, start with the front, start with the back, whichever one you want to start with. So we're going to start off using the front. You're going to place your piece right side of your Aso-Oke fabric to the right side of your lining piece. Make sure that are aligning at the base. Please let them align at the base. Go ahead and stitch at the base. After that, you stitch by the sides. So make sure you start stitching from the base first and then stitch by the sides so that it's going to align. Then for the back piece also, you're going to bring in your Aso-Oke fabric. Place it right side facing you. Bring in your lining. Place them right side to right side. Align them at the base just like you did for the front. Sew the base first before sewing the sides. So this is what it looks like for the front piece after I finished, and I went ahead to actually give this a really good press. Now for the back pieces, this is what they are looking like. I've ironed this. Now you can see the difference between what we have. You can see that opening we have around the center back of our piece. Now we want to place our dart. You want to mark you want to mark half of your bust span. Your bust span, that's your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. You're going to mark half of it. Then mark the length of the dart. I'm using 5 inches for mine. And then at the waist area, you come in by half of an inch on both sides. Repeat the same process for the other piece also. Now, while marking this dart intake, make sure you remember that you also have the zip allowance at the back, which is 1.5 inches. So which is 1 inch right now after turning. So you're going to make sure you acknowledge that 1 inch while marking. So if your bust span divided by 2 is 3.5 plus 1 inch, 4.5 inches, that is what you should mark. Okay. And then go ahead and just dart your piece together. So this is what the back looks like. So you can see that mine, I actually adjusted it. Initially, I didn't take note of that. But after going to the machine, I actually went ahead to adjust it. So that's why I'm telling you to ensure to adjust it. Now you're going to place your back piece right side to right side. We're going to align them around the zipper area so that we can go ahead to, stitch it down. So I'm just using my pins to hold it down at this point. Then the next thing you're going to do is to mark the length of the zip you'll be attaching. Now remember that we have a band of 2 inches that will be attaching to this. So we're going to attach our zipper first before that. So I'm just marking where I want this to end. You should end your zip allowance around your hip area so that it's comfortable for you to wear, and then go ahead and stitch 1 inch from that point into this other end just like so. So you're going to stitch it down and then attach your zip to the upper part of your back piece. So this is what I have. I've attached my zip. This is what it looks like. You can see how fine it looks. So you can see that the lines are aligning. That some of them are aligning and some of them are close to each other, but ensure that they are aligning. And now we're going to overlap this slit area. You need to overlap it and then go ahead and stitch it down so that that place doesn't move. Now we're bringing in the front piece, placing them right side to right side. You can see that the front and the back, that they are aligning. One is not bigger than the other. So now to stitch the sides, you need to bring in your measurement. Starting from the waist, you're going to take half of your round waist measurement. That's the round waist divided by 2, and then you take it on both sides of your skirt. So if your round waist divided by 2, for me my round waist is 32 inches. 32 divided by 2 is 16 inches. Now that's 16 inches. If I divide around this and I have more than 16 inches, I'm going to share this equally to both sides. But what I'm doing now is to just take quarter of the measurements. You can see I'm taking it from the zipper allowance line where I stitched my piece together, the center back together. I'm taking that allowance measurement. From that point, I'm taking quarter of the measurement. It is quarter I am taking around this point. So if you're doing it this way, you're going to take quarter measurement, quarter of your round waist, quarter of your round hip, then the excess you're going to connect together just like what I have here. So I repeated the same process for the other side and I went ahead to join my piece together. So this actually went on to reduce this because it was actually quite bulky inside of this. So I've actually trimmed it right here. I've trimmed it. After joining together, I wore it. It gave me this bulky feel and it made the sides of my skirt to be, they were just standing because of the type of Aso-Oke fabric which I'm using for this. Now we're going to cut off the excess we have around the zipper area so that we can comfortably attach our band to the skirt piece. So this is the band. I've gone ahead I just folded it. I didn't add anything to it. What I did was to cut out a band of 5 inches wide. The width is 5 inches. Then the length is what I have around my round waist, including the zipper allowance. And I folded half of an inch all around. and then closed up the edge because I'll be attaching a hook and eye to this. Now, what I'm going to do is to just tuck in my waist, the waist area, the allowance I have around the waist area. You're going to tuck it into the band, considering that the band is already folded up. Now, I didn't iron any interfacing to this because it's going to make this fabric to be too thick, and I'm trying to avoid that so that I can, stitch this down perfectly on my machine. So what I'm going to do is to tuck it inside. It can be quite confusing, yeah, but make sure you tuck it in properly. Use your pins, hold them down, and go ahead and stitch it. So you want to ensure that around the zip areas, while you're tucking in your band, at the ends, the open ends where you have your zip seated, that one end is not higher than the other. Okay, so let their lengths be equal on both sides. Now, why I'm saying this is, if you add your hook and eye to this piece and you have one part higher than the other, by the time you hook it, it's going to, like, it doesn't look nice. I don't know how to explain that. It's not going to, look, it's going to look, one will be higher than the other. When you hook it, you have like an opening, a little opening around that waist region, which is not what we are trying to achieve. So you can see me pinning around this first, which is quite important. Go ahead and pin around this. Make sure you tuck it in properly. You're tucking in just half of an inch, please. Do not exceed half of an inch while tucking in. Tuck in half of an inch and then use your pins, hold them down. Okay, you're going to have some excess by the time you finish. So I actually added extra from what I have around the waist. So if you finish sewing your skirt, joining the sides, and you have say 34 inches, which is what I had around it, make sure to add at least 2 inches extra so that you have it for the overlap of your hook and eye. Okay, so that's just what I did. You notice that from the first part where I pinned everything matching, the length, everything is matching together with what I have on my main skirt, the band and the main skirt, that they are matching. And I'm taking my time to pin this. Okay, pin this properly. Now, this a delicate fabric, so you need to be careful while you're working with it. So what you're going to do is to pin it down all through and then go ahead and stitch. So I have the excess around this other end, which will be the part that we overlap to the other end. So you're going to go ahead and stitch it down. So this is what it looks like after I finished. I've stitched it down. This looks quite nice. Okay, it was quite taxing. Now I have my hook and eye. Okay, so the hook is going to be placed on the upper part. That's the part which will be overlapping, and then the eye is going to be placed on the down part. So you go ahead and stitch them together. I'm going to stitch this off camera, so I'm just marking the point where they're going to sit. It's important for you to take note of these things so that by the time you stitch it down, they're going to sit perfectly. And ensure to stitch it, make sure you're going to hand tack it, ensure that it holds it firmly, it doesn't pull up from this. And that is the last thing we're going to be doing for this Aso-Oke skirt. And that is all for this tutorial. So the tutorial on how to make the blouse will be available on the channel this week, so ensure to subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.